It's such a good partnership with sci-fi. Like that I'm telling you, that had to be like the magic thing right there when sci-fi's like, yes. Like what did that feel like when the sci-fi channel is like, we want to make this. This is perfect for us.
Yeah, I mean, look, I love sci-fi. I mean, they've had so much great stuff, and they've really, for many years, they have been really good to, you know, the comics world, to the Image Comics world in particular. You know, they've had stuff like Deadly Class and things like that, and so we knew that they understood the world, and I also knew, just like, I would constantly see, like, Sci-Fi Wire would have interviews with Tim Seeley all the time, and they would, you know, have a focus on that, and I was like, man, this is some sci-fi's wheelhouse. They should just make this, right? So it's like perfect for them. So yeah, but there's also sort of that, you know, you want to get in there. It's funny because I remember thinking early on in the process of, okay, could we make the show independently, and how much can you make a show for, you know, at a smaller cost? And I remember reading, actually, funny enough, articles with Emily Andress, who did Winona Earp, and talking about how they made Winona Earp for so cheap and what they would do, and, you know, not realizing that, you know, years later, the connection there would be stronger than I had imagined at that point. But yeah, and, you know, we wanted to also take the sci-fi world farther, right? We wanted to push the production value, the production quality, even when our budgetary, you know, restrictions were very palpable. But that's kind of what we do. We like to sort of put those dollars on the screen. So we felt like it was a right home, but we also felt like it was a good challenge at the same time.
Yeah. Our motto, my company, is put the dollars on the screen. You know, horror with heart, two things that we're always focused on. And, you know, sci-fi was going to kind of require us, you know, to think about this a little differently, like an indie film kind of mindset, which Luke and I very much come from. So I think that played well. But also, they could move fast. That was the other thing, was sci-fi was a machine that was kind of going, and they needed content. They wanted to get back into originals, and they needed some. So it was there. And versus like the AMC conversations, they were interested, but that could have taken, I mean, we'd probably still be negotiating, you know, now, you know, and what it is. And I make a lot of movies, make a lot of stuff. Like, I want to keep busy. I am not someone that's like, I'm going to wait for the bigger thing or whatever. I want to make it. I want to make stuff. And then I like the challenge of that. And I've seen great shows on sci-fi. So I know what's capable. I know what's possible, but we were going to try to push it, you know, as far as, and I'm not saying that we're a better show, but what I'm saying is our ambition, though, was going to be beyond what the budget would normally dictate a show like this should be. And that was going to be, and I'm sure other showrunners have done the same, but it was something very specific for us to say, okay, so this is the boundary. Well, we're going to say this is the boundary. And then we're even going to go beyond that, and then just keep going until someone forces us to stop, you know, and somehow we're here. Yeah.
Well, it's paid off. I think. I mean, this first season has just, it had my attention the entire time. And I told you, Aaron, my boyfriend put his phone down and didn't pick it back up. And you said, well, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Get people off their phones.
I love that's the bar now, right? Like, that's,
Yeah.
I've heard this a couple of times now, and I keep thinking, man, it's that we've gotten to that being the bar is certainly interesting. But I get it. I'm the same way. If a show makes me put my phone down,
you know, you got something. And if you want, I've watched every episode multiple times. I didn't get to watch the finale last night because of technical difficulties. Thank you, Spectrum. May or may not cut that out. Anyway, couldn't watch it last night. So I watched it this morning and then immediately watched it again. I've watched it 2.5 times today.
Oh my God.
Just really good. I told Luke that it made me feel like I needed to call my sister, tell her I loved her. It was powerful. It was so good. That first episode, and this is something Romy and I talked about, that first episode matches that first comic. I mean, so absolutely perfectly. And you're right. That first comic is a pilot. And that's one of the great things I've always felt about with comic books is, I mean, it's all done for you. Like the storyboard, it's like, it's right there for you. You know, you've got panels and stuff.
Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you.